Joe, Shob, Joe, Shob, Joe, Shob, Joe, Shob, Shob, Joe, Shob, Joe and Shob Show. It's the Joe and Shob Show. It's the Joe and Shob Show. It's the Joe and Shob Show. Hey everybody, it's the Joe and Shob Show. Welcome to, I lost track of how many episodes we've done.
I believe it's episode 8.
Episode 8. So, I almost knocked that over.
It is November the 10th. We are on a very infamous week this week, but we don't need to talk about that. Well, wrestling. It is wrestling related. There is news that is wrestling related. Our president-elect is in the WWE Hall of Fame and was a part of a WrestleMania match. That's all I'm going to say.
This was a big week for America.
It was a big week for America because Raw and SmackDown. That's why it was a big week. I can't even take that serious.
But hey, everybody, just remember to stay safe. Stay safe out there. Damn. Okay. Stay safe out there because there's a lot of stuff going on. You gotta stay safe out there.
Yeah, I got woken up at 2 a.m. because of rallies because of the presidential election. But we're here to talk about wrestling because the minute all that happened, I said, you know what, Joe, I'm really excited to talk about wrestling with you.
You did.
Because I don't want to take my life that seriously.
You did.
You know what
I'm
saying?
Just thought I'd address it real quick though, because it's we gotta give ourselves out to the people.
We're aware of what goes on in the world, but this is a part of what we do to escape that world.
Actually, I just lock myself in the bathroom every week and just wait until the Joe and Shob Show is ready to be filmed.
You're just waiting. You're waiting until I message you and go, let's do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome. I'm really glad.
All right. Also, I don't know if anybody, because we're still small, obviously, but we're thinking about changing the release date. So if anybody has any ideas about release date, let us know.
We were potentially thinking Wednesdays because that's like right after the 2 shows happen, and then everybody's opinions are fresh. Everybody's like, yeah, we watched all the shows. Now it's time for the Joe and Shob Show. But we'd have to be a lot more, Joe and I would have to be a lot more on time with our recordings. And sometimes our schedules don't always work out like that because I work sometimes I don't. But we've been filming them consistently Thursdays around like 11 p.m., 11-ish. And we always end around 1. So we'd have to change that. But if we get any demand, which means if anybody comments on this video, which they won't, if anybody is watching this video who has any input, comment. We anything you want to say, we want to listen to you. Anything you want to say, we're going to listen to you.
We probably won't subscribe to you if you tell us to subscribe to you.
See, I was being serious and you had to make it a joke. Just like you're a joke.
That wasn't a joke.
All
right. So
I want to start with a random match of the week this week because
it's
last
called
week
Picks of the Week. It's called Picks of the Week.
Picks of the Week. I'm sorry. Well, last week the theme was JBL because I'm a fuck up, and you know what I did? I said, "Hey, let's do a random JBL match, the best JBL matches." And then you said, "Okay, we're actually doing it." And I go, "Oh fuck, we actually had to do it." So I had already watched a JBL match for Pick of the Week in the first one.
So yeah, we're doing Picks of the Week this week, JBL matches. At the end of last week, you were like, "Yo, let's do JBL matches," and I'm like, "That sounds like a great idea." Obviously, you were fully on board for that, so that's what we're doing now. 100%. So, who went first last week? Was it you?
You're going first this time, no matter what.
Okay.
I don't even care.
All right. So, obviously, there is a well of great JBL matches, a absolute gold mine of the greatest JBL matches. Anywhere from the Brawl for All to Rey Mysterio, his last match, WrestleMania. But you know what? I'm picking the most random one because
I promise mine is a lot more random. I guarantee it.
All right. Well, this is. I don't know if anyone's even going to remember this match, but this was. If you remember favorite matches video, I talked about a match that I watched on WWE On Demand. This is another one I watched on Demand, and it was. Don't even know why they had it on demand, but it's the first time I ever saw a JBL. It was the first time I knew. I should probably say what the match is for. It's Royal Rumble 2005, triple threat for the WWE title. It's Big Show, Kurt Angle, and JBL triple threat for the title. Now, this match, not a lot of people have heard of it. Obviously, on paper, you're like, oh man, that actually kind of sounds fun. But yeah, this is the first match I watched and actually like saw that JBL was ever a WWE champion. And I'm like, oh, well, all right. And yeah, it was also I had seen Kurt Angle before. By the time he came around, I hadn't even started watching yet. Started watching around 2008, so he was gone. But it was like the first full match I seen of his. So
did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed. I thought the coolest part about him was his entrance because the "You suck" chant. That was the first time I heard that one too, and I'm like, oh man, it's cool. But yeah, the actual match.
Oh, we're talking about Kurt Angle.
I was just talking about like my first experience with the match
suck.
and why I picked it. Yeah,
you suck. I really
Joe
like
and
his theme.
Shob.
I like his
Joe
theme
and
so
Shob.
much. It seems very good.
Joe and
Because it's
Shob.
like so America, but it's also a wrestler's theme.
Right.
It works really well. I thought you were talking about JBL. Did you know JBL was originally supposed to be a face?
Oh yeah.
Like same character, but like a guy in a limousine who's a rich guy, but as a face.
Yeah, my brother and I, my brother never really got into like super into wrestling, but we always watched Raw together, like 2009 when like Legacy was on top, Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, and he'd charge in there and be like, Rhodes and DiBiase and Rhodes, and we thought it was like the funniest thing. And then like JBL would come out, and he has that one part of his entrance theme where like a cow moves. You ever heard this?
I think I have, yeah.
You remember? Yeah, it's like. Oh,
Oh, yeah, it's totally his theme.
We used to think it was the funniest thing ever. I'm not even kidding. JBL with the mooing. It was like we don't even know. We never even knew I was there. We just
dun 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 dun. I love it. His theme's great.
We never even knew I was there.
Wrestler's theme. They're fun.
Yeah, but this match, it's precisely why I picked it. No other JBL matches to me are like special. I mean, there are. I'm not gonna say there aren't good JBL matches because there are.
He was the WWE champ for a year. That's a very long time.
This one just sticks out to me because it's first time I really got to see him. And the actual match, probably get to that. So the actual match, it's pretty much just a pretty standard Big Show triple threat match. Like if you would imagine what a Big Show triple threat match is.
It was a singles match between two people, and they said, "Oh, Big Show's not doing anything, and this will make them look bigger and better. Let's throw Big Show in there."
Literally, yes, that was the build up. Yeah, that was literally the build up. But yeah, Big Show, he's in it a little bit, and he gets put through the announce table. And
wait, who was facing this?
I honestly don't remember. Like, I remember the build-up. I think Big Show was actually the face because Kurt Angle, I remember, it's been a while since I looked up, like, the build-up to this, but I think Kurt Angle was the face, but in this match, he was a little heelish at the beginning, but he faced JBL one-on-one, so I'm pretty sure he was face as well. Maybe, like, a tweener, but, yeah, so this is also before his match with Shawn Michaels, so, but yeah, like, Big Show goes to the announce table, and then they come up, and they're like, oh, it's a singles match now. And then Big Show comes back, and he's like, and he does that thing he does. And hey, I'm about to read you a list of names. So, Mark Jindrak, Orlando Jordan.
I kind of remember he's like a token black guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're like JBL's helpers. No. They interfere in the match at the end, and JBL steals the match.
By the way, you guys have never seen me, but I'm not necessarily a white. Okay, I'm just keep going.
What the?
That was so bad. Why did I say it?
That was terrible. I'm leaving it in.
Leave that out.
Nope.
Damn it.
All
Because I didn't want them
so-
to be like, wow, he's racist.
No, we get it. We get it.
No one heard it anyways.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, they interfere in the match. JBL steals it. But yeah, I love these old matches from the mid 2000s. Like, you've gotten me into them.
I
feel
watch them all the time. They're addicting.
It's so weird, like looking through a different time, sort of. Like Big Show, they're fighting outside the ring towards the beginning of the match, and he does the KO punch to JBL, and I'm like, oh my god, they just did that, and no one cared, and I'm like, what? And JBL got right back up, and I'm like,
oh my god, it was like the chemistry of the match and like the story of the match didn't matter. It's just like, let's throw him all out.
No. He didn't have the KO punch till he returned in '08 against the Undertaker.
Oh.
Yeah, his finisher used to be just like a choke slam.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So it was really weird. You know?
So the same move just had an upgrade over 3 years. Like that move that did nothing earlier. No man, it's powerful now.
In this match it was literally just a punch. It wasn't even a signature move. He just punched him.
Okay, well that's weird.
Yeah, I don't like the KO punch though. So
yeah, I like the chokeslam better. What's the finish of the match?
So Big Show, I believe, yeah, he's about to win, but he gets attacked by Mark Jindrak, who, by the way, was supposed to be in Evolution. So if you've never heard of his name before, now you know why. But yeah, they attack him. Distractions happen. Shenanigans ensue. JBL hits clothesline from hell. Kurt Angle. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the ending of the match was really confusing. It was all over the place.
JBL's highest rated match is a 3.5, so it's not like we're expecting
Dave Meltzer.
anything great.
By Dave Meltzer?
Yeah.
Interesting.
At least that's what the site I was using to look at old JBL matches said.
They probably used Dave Meltzer.
I mean, that's like he's like the one critic like everybody thinks about when they think about wrestling. Like,
to be fair, he gave Randy Orton versus Mick Foley 4.5 out of 5, and I like that.
Really, that's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a very good match. I did enjoy that after I had to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you're not gonna be able to predict my match because it's very stupid. Because
Can I try?
What?
Can I try?
You've one guess. I don't want to waste any of my fucking time.
Is it like a random? Like I've never seen it before. No way I've ever seen it.
Were you watching Raw 4 years ago?
4 years ago, yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah, 2012. I actually stopped watching at the end of 2012.
Okay, so did you watch the 1000th episode of Raw?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah.
All right.
I made a review on it on my old channel.
You do?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god. All right. Well, my
CM Punk turned
JBL.
heel.
Since you forced me to stick with the JBL theme, which was going to be a joke, and you just forced me to stick with it.
It was hilarious.
Because I could have talked about actual matches. Like today, I watched Bayley versus Asuka from Brooklyn Takeover Brooklyn 2. I wanted to talk about that, but no. I watched I really wanted to talk about John Cena versus RVD at No Way Out, or at One Night Stand 2006. I really wanted to talk about that, but no, I had to talk about fucking JBL.
Nope.
Anyways, 1000th episode of Raw. Heath Slater comes out, and he's talking. He's being an idiot. Lita comes out, and my match is Lita versus Heath Slater.
I know why you picked this.
Lita versus Heath Slater on the 1000th episode of Raw.
Yeah, I know why you picked this.
Okay, because he's trying to leave because Lita's egging him on and stuff like that, and he's like, no, I'm not. And he's
By the way,
what?
By the way, like over the past 3 months, he's literally been like, "Oh man, I'm Heath Slater. I'm gonna beat people," and then a random legend comes out and beats him. That's the joke.
Oh, I didn't know that was his joke.
Yeah, like one day he's like, "No way, anyone's gonna stand up to me," and it's like, "Yo, it's me, it's DDP."
All right, well, it was the 1000th episode of Raw, so they go all out because the 900th episode of SmackDown is going to have Edge and Undertaker. So they wanted to do the same thing. Well, Heath Slater's going up the ramp, and a fuck ton of old WWF superstars come out. Vader, Rikishi, Doink, the Legion of Doom, like anybody. There's just a bunch of random I mean, Vader wasn't really mid-Carter. He was pretty up there. but just a bunch of random ass people like who are old and whatever come out to the ring and throw him back in, and then Lita and Heath Slater have a match. And then what do you think happens after that?
I think Lita
Before that happened, APA came out, which is the Acolyte Protection Program, or Acolyte Protection Association or something authority.
It's the
APA. It was their
Acolyte
tag team.
Protection Agency.
You know what pissed me off about that?
What?
Their shirts say APA Protection. Acolyte Protection Agency Protection.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I'm sure they were a fun tag team, but JBL was in it because he's been in WWE since 1998.
No, Bradshaw was in it.
Bradshaw. Well, I apologize. He didn't become JBL till he was a singles guy. Well, guess what? Heath Slater comes back into the ring, and JBL clothesline from Hell's. Heath Slater, best JBL match.
That is my favorite clothesline from Hell I have ever seen.
You being serious?
Yes, that clothesline from Hell is so good. I could watch.
Oh, it looked really good. Yeah.
I could watch it. Like Heath Slater literally sits up for like 10 seconds, and if you pay attention to JBL's face, he's like starts laughing.
Yeah, because Lita does like, I don't remember what her finisher was, but she does like a little twist. I think it was a twist of fate. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it kind of looks like a standing RKO. By the way, she's wearing nothing. Like she's only wearing a bra.
Yeah, I think her boob popped out.
Oh damn, JBL! Oh my god, yeah, JBL runs into the turn into the ropes, comes back, runs into Heath Slater with all of his force, and does a really really sick clothesline from Hell. And Heath Slater is doing a handstand on his head, sits up there for a second, and then falls and sells it like a maniac. Yeah. And they're like, "All right, JBL, all right, why didn't you ever do that back in the day?"
What makes it for me is Heath Slater selling, it's JBL laughing, and it's the commentary because they're laughing too.
What sells it for me is that the match I chose was Lita versus Heath Slater.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, is pretty good JBL match.
Oh, you always that's the JBList match, and then Lita gets onto the top rope and does a backflip on.
Yeah, I think that's when she has the wardrobe malfunction. I'm not 100% sure if that's when it was though. I'm pretty sure it's where.
And then how does she go out there and like do a backflip and not expect like because her boobs are like out there, anyways, and the crowd doesn't even pop that big, but Doink's out there. Whenever Doink comes back, you know it's time.
Well, 1000th episode of Raw was like it was the first Raw that was 3 hours. Ever since then, it's been 3 hours, and it's weird because there's a lot of good stuff on that show, but like there's only good segments. Like Daniel Bryan and AJ Lee were gonna get married, and then AJ storms off, and he's like, "No, no, no!" And then The Rock bottoms him.
Oh my god,
stuff. Yeah, but
I'm sure it was an entertaining episode only because like the whole 3 hours.
Watch my review on it.
Planned.
Watch my review on it.
I'm not gonna. You can link to it in the description.
I probably won't. We're gonna let people look for it.
How come they can't fill 3 hours nowadays? They probably didn't back then, anyways.
Because The Rock was on this episode. So was The Undertaker.
Oh, well, The Rock main event at WrestleMania the next year, or the same year.
Yeah.
And the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
How often was he on TV back in those days?
About as often as he is right now.
Oh, so he main evented 2 WrestleManias, but he wasn't on TV that much?
Nope.
I remember he was on TV like leading up to the WrestleMania.
Obviously.
New Jersey.
Obviously.
Because I remember my mom was flipping through channels on TV and saw The Rock versus John Cena, and she was like, "Wait, I want to watch this. I want to get WrestleMania."
Yeah. Well, obviously he's going to be on those, but he wasn't really like. I remember before 28. I thought that match was better because it was still unpredictable. And it wasn't for the title, so we could have CM Punk versus Chris Jericho for the title, which is definitely a match I want to talk about one day. But I'll get to that.
We're gonna do the podcast forever. You're not getting up. You can't give up. I won't let you.
All right. Anyway,
doing the podcast forever.
But yeah,
Mom, how long are we doing the podcast for?
Oh my god!
You just told me to be quiet.
We're doing the podcast forever. That's what my mom said.
Oh my god! All right.
That's what gives us character. Okay.
All right, yeah, sure. But yeah, the 28 match was good. John Cena brought out a shirt that said, "I bring it via satellite." That was like the best part.
I remember it was like 2000. Just so you guys know, Joe's been watching wrestling. at least consistently longer than I have because he's watched like since 2008. And I'm sure he had some years of lull in between.
Yeah, I didn't watch 2013. So.
You didn't watch in 2013?
I watched. I stopped watching not long after Raw 1000 because they freaking decided it'd be a good idea to have John Cena and John Laurinaitis main event a pay-per-view and then do another John Cena Big Show feud. And by the way, Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk was on that card. And I thought The Miz was really good back in the day, and he got straight up squashed by Brodus Clay. And I'm like, my God. And literally nobody was getting recognition, and I'm like, this is a mess. So I stopped watching, and then I started watching in 2014. I started watching again in 2014.
Dude, we all started watching in 2014.
Yeah, that's when we went to the SmackDown live show together because we played the game.
Yeah, we were playing all the wrestling games, and then we saw SmackDown was coming into town, and I've been watching pretty consistently since then. Maybe not as much TV, but pay-per-views wise, I was watching. But then Hell in a Cell 2014, there was the finish where Bray Wyatt ruined everything, and I got pissed, and I stopped watching for a little bit.
SummerSlam 2015, I stopped watching for a good 3 months, but I still read online what was happening. You know, I read the pay-per-view results, stuff like that.
What match on 2015 SummerSlam caused you to...
Seth Rollins, John Cena, great match, ended with Jon Stewart.
Oh, yeah, I remember that bullshit.
And Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, good match, but terrible finish. Awful finish.
Yeah,
in the words of our president-elect, terrible, absolutely terrible. Such a nasty finish.
I can't believe Undertaker did a low blow to finish a match at SummerSlam. Like, at this point in his career, he doesn't need to do stuff like that.
I'll say this. The finish of that match is good because he flips out Brock, or Brock flips him off as he's passing out. But the ending of the match was so confusing. And both of those matches had so much on the line, and they just decided to go with the easy way to protect both of them. It was so bad. All right. Well, we've made so many tangents here today.
I enjoy talking about random shit. It keeps
I do
me
too.
going.
I do too.
Because
but,
you definitely didn't see me talking about Lita versus Heath Slater.
Hey, I agree though. It was a good one. I like picks of the week. It gives
all right,
me.
So
you're
you're deciding the theme of the picks of the week next week.
All right.
How about from now? We'll do a theme next week, but then it'll be theme whatever the hell we want. Theme whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
Next week we can do a theme just because I want you to choose a theme. But I want like a free reign for it because I watch random matches all the time and I just want somewhere to talk about it. But if we theme it, people can be like, suggest their own themes if they watch. Or because we would totally listen to that.
All right. Well, I know what my theme for next week is, so you want me to tell you?
Tell me.
All right.
But by the way, I can always manipulate themes because JBL wasn't really even.
Don't worry. No, we'll be trying harder. I'll be trying harder. And if it's funny, then I'll do it, obviously. But, yeah. Okay. So, best Survivor Series elimination matches.
Okay, so just best Survivor Series matches.
With the 5-on-5s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no 10-on-10, which is really crowded. I don't know why they're doing 10-on-10.
Don't think they've ever done that.
This is the first time. Is this the first women's Survivor Series?
No.
Okay. Well,
but yeah,
I'm kidding. We'll have to watch. I'll admit, I will have to watch more Survivor Series. But there's one that already comes to my head because there's only one that I've ever watched live.
Right. Well, Survivor Series next weekend. We got time. All right. But yeah, I think I know what I'm picking for mine too, and it's just because I like it.
All right. It better not end with something that rhymes with ring.
You mean Sting?
Shut the fuck up. They're gonna know.
All right.
Don't tell them.
That's a good one, but it's not mine. All right. Let's go. Move on. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw this week.
Raw and SmackDown.
So, you know what's funny to me?
What?
Whenever they actually try, Raw can be good.
Yeah? Do you think Raw was good this week?
I thought Raw was good this week.
I thought Raw was better last week.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't think so at all.
You know what? That's why we have a podcast.
True. Well, last week, that freaking trick or street fight match.
Hey, you said that was fun.
It was fun for like a minute.
You know what? You're a jerk and you don't like Enzo. Were Enzo and Cass on the card this week?
Yeah, they
Oh,
rallied
yeah, they
with the
were-
New Day, and the New Day was like,
Yeah, yeah,
Enzo
yeah.
was
Okay, I
like, "What are
remember
you
now.
smoking, New Day? Because I like it, you know."
Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Because they were like, I'll tell you what SmackDown stands for when you watch Raw later. Okay, so the match, the Raw started with a really, really surprising result or reveal for the 5v5 team. Were you shocked?
No, well, a little because
You were shocked?
I wasn't shocked.
Everyone knew it was going to be Seth Rollins.
I don't know about that because they would have. I feel like they would have announced Seth Rollins last week. Why didn't they? Announce
They
him
did
last
it
week?
literally probably just so it could be like, oh, let's put you on the edge of your seat so maybe someone will watch the show next week.
I guess.
But we all knew it was going to be Seth Rollins because what else was Seth Rollins going to do?
Yeah, you're right.
Unless he fought for the IC title, but that'd be dumb.
No, that'd be dumb. Yeah, I think this is cool, and apparently, you know how he came out and said Sparkle Crotch again.
Yeah.
Apparently, Vince McMahon thinks that's absolutely hilarious.
Oh boy, that's not good.
And he thinks it's the funniest thing ever, and he cracks up every time Seth says it.
So he has to say it.
Well, apparently, it's only been scripted like once. Seth's just been saying it, but it's still terrible.
Hopefully it stops.
Yeah. But it's really weird seeing Seth and Roman on the same side.
Yeah, it's. I thought they'd make a bigger deal out of it this week. Honestly, like I thought they would wait, but they kind of just did it.
Yeah. I have a question. If you want your team to get along, why would you put them in a fatal five-way?
The only thing that makes sense is if it was like, okay, you guys are gonna fight during the match, so just blow all your steam now and focus
Yeah.
on us during Survivor Series. The only
I
thing is, if there's no stipulations for the fucking match, why do they care?
There's a lot of questionable things I have to say about Survivor Series, and when we talk about cruiserweights, I'll get to that.
Yeah, that's when
But-
I'd like to talk about it too, because
Yeah.
I have a point to make. Anyways,
But yeah, so
I wasn't surprised it was Seth. Like it meant that not that much. He got a good pop whenever he came out because everybody knew it was gonna be him, but he still came out and he was still getting like a face pop like he should. And I don't know, it was fun, but just why'd they have to pretend like he wasn't gonna be the fifth guy?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they had a different plan for him until like lately, and because there was that image that apparently was on WWE.com with Sami Zayn there. Maybe they like changed it. I don't know.
Sammy
But-
worked best in the IC title match, unless the only way that could have made sense is if Finn got better he got better fast and he was the surprise one. But unless it was Finn Balor, which we know for sure wouldn't have been Finn Balor. We actually talked to Finn Balor over the weekend in a Q&A, and he said he's not even going to be back by Roadblock. So I imagine he'd be back by Royal Rumble. But that would have been like a fun surprise reveal. But I don't know if we all knew.
Yeah,
Seth.
they say he's going to be better like February, March, which they always overestimate. I think he's going to be back for Royal Rumble, and I really hope he is. I really hope he is.
Yeah, he if he was back for Royal Rumble, he would definitely win it, I think.
Yeah, and I think that would be great. It'd be so refreshing because shit, dude. When was the last
few
time?
Royal Rumbles they had not given?
When was the
us-
last time that either a new guy or not Roman Reigns won?
You mean an old guy?
No, I mean, when was the last time I'm trying to think.
The last three have been Batista, Roman Reigns, Triple H.
Yeah, and John Cena before that.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ!
So we definitely need a fresh Rumble winner. and
we need a
I think Finn is
Royal
the one to
Rumble
do it.
with a story, like to just put somebody who needs it over.
I think Finn or Seth should win, and if Seth wins, he should use the buckle bomb on Finn and throw him out, and it would be like, oh my God, what did he just do? I thought he was.
Oh, I
a
think
good guy.
Seth should. I think Seth should win too. Anybody from SmackDown?
I think that'd be a
if
good
there's anybody from
swerve. I think
SmackDown
that'd be a
who
good-
could win.
I think
AJ would be good to win if he didn't have the title at the time, but he'd probably have the title. by then.
I think he's gonna have the title. I think Seth would be a good Seth would be a good swerve, because everyone thinks Finn's gonna win, but then he buckle bombs him and throws him out. I think that would be a cool arc. But
And he turns heel or what?
No, he doesn't turn heel. It's just he's like, oh, I just did the move that I always do. What's wrong with it?
Yeah. He hasn't done the move since.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
Or he did it. He hasn't done.
against
did,
he hasn't done it against like the crowd
buckle.
like barrier.
He's done it like he's done different things with it. I think he did it to Chris Jericho this week. I don't remember what he did with it though. I remember he threw him into something, or he power bombed him. I think onto Braun Strowman on the table or whatever.
Did it hurt?
I don't know. Point is, even if he does not do it anymore, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, it might make more sense.
I'm looking forward to WrestleMania season. I
Yeah,
want to
me
just be like
too.
100% into it.
Me too, especially since this WrestleMania isn't going to be bombarded with injuries.
I can also tell like this is gonna be a good WrestleMania. I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 32, like no Seth. Like you could probably imagine it wasn't set up the way they wanted it to be.
Right. Yeah.
And Seth was pretty close to making WrestleMania. He was just a few weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so that was how Raw started with Authority Figure setting up the 5v5. Couldn't really remember much else other than that. It comes more into fruition by the end of Raw, and we could talk about that. So, you know what was more important this week?
What's that?
My boy Rich Swann with another victory over Brian Kendrick. I don't even care if Sin Cara was there and Noam Dar debuted. Rich Swann,
Question. Can you handle this?
I can handle it because he's my boy.
All right. So
Question.
Noam Dar made his debut in this match. Hang on, I'm just going over. Noam Dar made his debut. I've been looking forward to Noam Dar debuting because I honestly think he's a better TJ Perkins.
Yeah, I think
And,
TJ Perkins would be good. He's just got to change his character.
But I don't know. He hasn't been seen really. He wasn't seen all week. I feel like they soured on him, which is all right because he's not that good anymore.
I mean, he can wrestle. We can obviously know he can wrestle. They just
Mm-hmm.
he needs like a few weeks so we can maybe if he had like a few weeks off and then came back and didn't even pretend to make video game things, it was like serious.
Yeah. Also, Noam Dar had a huge pop because he debuted in his hometown, which means he's probably going to be over to a degree over the next couple weeks. So people have their eye on him. I think he's really good, and I think his debut is long overdue in the cruiserweight division. They need him. He's definitely like a WWE style cruiserweight, if that makes sense. I like him, man. Brian Kendrick, they beat each other up, and he's like, I hate you, Brian Kendrick.
I really don't have a ton of opinion about Noam Dar. You know what I do have an opinion about?
I've seen some of his matches in the Indies before, like in ICW and stuff. Though I watched it because I don't remember why I watched it. Oh, it was because he was in the Cruiserweight Classic.
The only opinion I have here is that Sin Cara shouldn't have been a part of anything, and that Rich Swann should have 1v2'd and won still. Sorry, I really like Rich Swann.
Maybe Chris Jericho should have come out and beat up Sin Cara.
Oh my God! Yeah, Rich Swann not Rich Swann. Sin Cara and Chris Jericho got in a fight over on their tour or something. Apparently, Sin Cara was making a really loud, annoying noise, which I am used to because my friend does it over and over again. And then you tell them to stop, and then they don't stop. So then stop it! And then it's like, you just made the list. But they're adults, so instead of him stopping, he kept going, and then Chris Jericho like stop, and then Sin Cara apparently pushed him, and then Chris Jericho punched him. Or no, wait, he started like biting him or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It sounded really ridiculous. Chris Jericho gets into a lot of fights, surprisingly.
Yeah, but he stands up for what's right. Sin Cara gets in fights too. He fought one of the vaudevillains not too long ago.
Simon Patch.
Yeah, but apparently he got banished to the SmackDown brand. So
Chris Jericho is the dad of WWE. It's funny. He's like, stop making sounds.
Yeah. So they made a cruiserweight announcement on SmackDown this week.
Do you want to talk about this early? Or you want to talk about it in SmackDown?
I want to talk about it right now because I have some things to say about it. So, because Dolph Ziggler is defending his Intercontinental Championship against a Raw guy, then they're like, well, it makes sense. If Raw defends the cruiserweight division and the title against a SmackDown guy. Now, why in the hell would Raw put an entire division on the line for no reason?
Because it's failing. I'm kidding.
Because this was Dolph Ziggler's idea to put his title on the line.
Yeah, and then Raw's like, we gotta one up them, give up our division, short. The only thing that's dumb about this, and I'm just gonna come right out there because it's what everybody's thinking. SmackDown's already 2 hours, only 2 hours. Raw is 3. Why would the division that could handle, or why would the brand that could handle a division because it has more time, go to the brand that can't handle it?
Because the brand that's handling it right now is terrible.
Yeah, but then there'd be even less time for SmackDown talent to go over.
Not necessarily, because they'll probably have one cruiserweight match a week if it's on SmackDown, and they got 205 Live right after.
I doubt. I highly doubt it goes over to.
I think it might, because
how about just don't have it be specific? Don't have the cruiserweights be specific to a brand. Have one cruiserweight match on Raw. Let the cruiserweights be the one who can be inter-brand talent. Like, they're just the cruiserweights and they can be on whichever show they need to be on.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't like it going to SmackDown because then there's even less time for.
But like I said, you have a whole hour-long show dedicated to cruiserweights that's filmed after SmackDown, and it's
that'd be too much exposure to cruiserweights in one night. You have all the cruiserweights on Monday, and then you have the cruiserweight after show on Tuesday. So then you have cruiserweights on different days, Monday and Tuesday. So there's more spread out exposure instead of cruiserweights only Tuesday and no cruiserweights Monday.
It's better than what we have right now.
I still think cruiserweights just need to be set up better. I think Brian Kendrick could carry the brand on his shoulders a lot. Once Rich Swann gets the title, he can really carry the brand on his shoulders. What?
I don't know. A lot of people are saying Kalisto might win, and I think it's a possibility just because 205 Live is filmed with SmackDown.
Brian Kendrick just got the title. He's not going to lose it.
Yeah, I think I still would prefer if Raw had it, but I think 205 Live, because it's on the network, because it's having Mauro Ranallo and Corey Graves announcing it. It's going to be more like the Cruiserweight Classic, which is what we need.
I'm just excited because I think this match is going to be good. Like, I'm just excited because Kalisto's a very good talent, Cruiserweight-wise, and Brian Kendrick's the champ. And all you need is good matches. There needs to be build-up. And there's not a ton
what 205 Live is going to give us, though. It's hour-long, and it's network exclusive, so they can do that. They can have great matches and get over in that sense. And then when they go to Raw, they're going to be stars, you know?
That's true. I like that they're adding 205 Live, but I think it's smarter if you have it on Monday, so there's less exposure in one day. Like, you can be like, oh, I have my cruiserweights on Monday and on Tuesday, not just all on one day.
But in regards to talent schedules, it's a lot of work.
That's true, but is 205? I was about to say, is 205 live? Holy fuck, I'm an idiot.
Hey, SmackDown Live wasn't live this week.
Yeah, but that wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
Was Raw live this week either?
No.
Okay, so whatever. It was on tape delay.
Yep. All right. So we got that out of the way. Now we got the New Day rallying the teams for the tag team elimination match, which everyone cares so much about. So much that the Shining Stars are a part of it now.
Real quick, I don't know. I don't feel like waiting to talk about all of the Survivor Series matches because I want to talk about my opinion of how they're building it up.
Yeah, we could talk about the tag team one right now.
Just in general, with all of the Survivor Series matches, why am I supposed to care about them caring? Because I don't think they care. Because if either brand loses, they haven't put stipulations down. They have a stipulation for matches that aren't the Survivor Series matches. Kalisto,
yeah, you're right.
Kalisto and Brian Kendrick, there's a stipulation in that match. There's a stipulation to Dolph Ziggler and Sami Zayn because Sami Zayn could potentially go to SmackDown, or he could stay on Raw and take SmackDown's title. There's stipulations there. There are not stipulations on the Survivor Series matches, and that's a problem because why do we care?
Yeah,
they're putting stipulations on the wrong things. I'm okay with stipulations being on those two matches I named. I think those are really good stipulations. It'll make the matches more exciting.
There's still one more week.
But if they just can drop a stipulation the week of, that's
Yeah, but it's better than nothing.
They should have built it up for weeks.
Remember, we had ideas about this, like take a talent, you get a main event spot, a lot of things you could put on the line, and they really should have done that because
This is literally just so, like, the GMs could
literally-
be like, oh, look, I'm better than you.
yeah,
Like,
the match that you see on paper is exactly what you're getting. That's what they're telling you. Like you're literally watching just a 5-on-5 match. Like, oh, who would win between these guys? Like that's literally it. You're not watching for any other reason than that.
do you like that or no?
I mean, I'm still looking forward to the 5-on-5 male elimination match. Tag team one, I really could give a crap
Oh, I don't
less
care about tag team one because it's just a cluster.
Yeah,
There's talent there, obviously, but you can't
women's
just throw
one-
all of your eggs in a basket and just be like, okay, have a great match.
Yeah, the women's one, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to like a good bit.
Oh, I'm
I
looking
do-
forward to it more than the tag team match and almost as much as the men's match, but probably the men's match more.
Yeah, although I do have something to say about that, which I have a prediction, and I will talk about that when we get there. But yeah, I think I don't mind because like brand supremacy is fun, but it's literally been a couple months since the brand split. So
Yeah, I don't know. They always pretend like they're battling in ratings, and that's like fun to set up kayfabe wise. But we know like WWE actually doesn't care. Like they just want Raw to be the number one and SmackDown to just do a little bit, just follow behind a little bit.
yeah,
But I don't know. Like
yeah,
I don't know about. I'm just want to talk about all three of these matches. Like the women's match is cool only because I legitimately do ask these questions. I'm like, okay, who has the better talent in this division? Tag team wise, I don't really think about it that much because you have to think about so many more people, and it's just like, I don't really care. But women wise, I actually do legitimately ask the question like, who has the better women? SmackDown almost seems like they have the better women because they have more, so you just don't see all the same faces all the time. But as far as like talent, if you actually build up like the wrestling talent that they have, like Raw has Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte, and they are better than Nikki, Becky, and Alexa. We just have to admit that.
yeah. That's the thing. Like, there aren't too many more women on Raw, but the ones that they do have are better.
Yeah, we can just, we don't have to go like bullet by bullet for Raw. We can just talk about all these Survivor Series matches.
All right. Well,
What
there are a couple things on Raw I want to mention though. So
What was that?
there were a couple things on Raw that I do want to mention.
Oh, we can. I've always been like, okay, there's pretty much only 4 girls on Raw. Yeah, Nia Jax. Now there's like 5 that you ever see on TV. Dana Brooke, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Nia Jax. And now Alicia Fox is on the team instead of Dana Brooke. What do you think about that?
Here's the thing, right? I think SmackDown is gonna win this one.
Yeah?
And because here's the thing. You have the women come out. Charlotte's like, everyone be quiet. And then,
Jesus Christ.
I love Charlotte's great. I disagree with you on that. I think her being annoying is
No.
part.
See,
she's the most annoying.
She does
thing.
well because I hate her, and she's a
Yeah.
heel. That's what she's supposed to do.
She's the most annoying person in the roster.
Oh, she's the worst.
Yes. But then they're like, that's not the one. That's not the last. Dana Brooke is the last member. This is the last member. Sasha Banks comes out, and guess what she does?
What'd you say?
Sasha Banks comes out, and guess what she does?
Charlotte, I am the boss.
Charlotte, you're not the best. Remember what I said in our review for Hell in a Cell?
What did you say, buddy?
I said, if she comes back and she says, hey, Charlotte, you're not the best. That was, that's my title. I need it back. Then her, her character would be damaged.
You knew Sasha Banks. You knew her. You knew what she was going to say.
I'm saying I didn't think her character was damaged as much as you did. But now that she came back and she's acting the same way. And she's acting like she won at Hell in a Cell, sort of, in a way. Yeah, I can see it.
You can see that she needed to win that match to do
But
anything.
only after now, because I didn't know what they were doing with her. However, I said earlier SmackDown was winning, and that's because I think Sasha might be going heel.
I would hope she would. Well,
I think she might, because
that'd be good for her
maybe
character.
now just wasn't the time to do it.
That'd be good for her character. They could have had her be a baby face on top of the company if she won at Hell in a Cell, but that didn't happen. So now
I
it's
feel
just
like
kind
she
of
needs
like,
to
okay,
be-
we just got to turn our cards and turn her heel and see what happens.
I feel like turning her heel and then later turning her face will get her over more. Like, that's what happened to a lot of guys.
Plus, we
What
all
happened to
know that
Seth
Bayley.
Rollins. And
Say that again?
they're doing it with AJ Styles. So
Oh yeah, we all know AJ's gonna have a super face run one day, because like he just needed to get over his heel.
they
first.
did it with Kurt Angle.
Yeah. But we all know also that Bayley and Sasha are gonna have a huge feud, and that can't happen with their both faces, because it worked really well on NXT, and now they got to do it on a bigger stage, and I think they could really do well by doing that, but they can't throw it out yet. They need to wait till WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That if they did Bayley versus Sasha at WrestleMania, that should be the second to last match in the card.
All right, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, definitely. So as far as the 5v5s go, or all the Survivor Series matches, no brand is going to sweep. Like, that's not going to happen, because they can't have one of their brands like look like shit compared to the other. Because most fans like SmackDown. So I haven't really put a ton of thought into who would win what yet. I think probably I think the men's, it'll be SmackDown. Women's it'll be Raw, and I think the tag team. I think the tag team
Raw
will
is
probably
winning
be
tag
SmackDown.
team. I think Raw's winning tag team because they have the Club, who beat the New Day, by the way, but it was like really random. And
They beat
felt
them
weird.
clean, dude. Our boys are coming.
A little too late though. They have the Club, New Day, Enzo, and Cass. I don't see them losing to.
Yeah, I think the Raw definitely has tag teams that are more over.
But SmackDown needs to win 2 out of 3. So
Do they have to?
I'm saying in like a booking sense, it feels like they should, because they should get the rub, because Raw is like the main show and they always have SmackDown win in these sort of things.
They do. Okay.
So I feel like SmackDown would win in 2 of those.
I think SmackDown's definitely the better managed show, at least kayfabe wise.
Yeah, Raw needs to get their head out of their asses.
They really need to figure out what to do with Stephanie McMahon. Because I look at Stephanie McMahon in real life and I'm like, oh wow, she's a really nice girl, like a really nice woman. Like, why don't they just have her be like that on the fucking show? Like, I hate pretending, like how she has to pretend to be a bad guy, because I don't want to have to pretend to actually hate her.
Right.
Because she does all this charity stuff. So why would you have the person who does all the charity stuff and like kids and help kids and everything, and then they watch the show and they're like, oh wait, she's the worst.
Same deal with Triple H. Like, he literally got TLC. He got brutalized by Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah.
And then he wasn't seen again until Royal Rumble. Except, like, a couple weeks later, he was at NXT TakeOver, and he announced, like, the intro for it.
That makes me, like, obviously the NXT appearance was him as his real life self, and it's like, they really need to figure out what they're doing with kayfabe.
Yeah, that we should have a conversation about that sometime.
Oh, that'd be great. Because social media, like, Lana will put up videos and she's not talking as Lana. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we should seriously have, like, a bonus episode about that sometime.
Oh, it'd be great. We should have bonus episodes about a lot of stuff. We should have a bonus episode about Doctor Strange. I'd love to do that.
All right, we can... Actually, yeah, let's do it.
I'm like seconds away from asking you if you like Doctor Strange
Yeah,
or
well,
not, 'cause I would love
okay,
to talk
after
about
this episode, we'll film another episode about it.
it. If we have time, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll be like 10 minutes. So.
Okay. So
If it's up, then you know where to find it.
I'm definitely looking forward to Survivor Series, but the only problem is they need to add stipulations. If there's no stipulations, it's kind of like, I want to care about why they care. But if they don't really have a reason to care, I can't care as much as I'd like to. Other than there just be good wrestling. Because brand supremacy, I don't care, because I watch both shows. Like, it's not like these shows actually compete, because they want their fans to watch both shows anyways. Like, kayfabe-wise, they want you to watch SmackDown and not Raw. And kayfabe-wise, they would want Raw. The Raw GMs want you to watch Raw and not SmackDown.
I guess so, but it's it's always about management, these shows. So it's not even about, it's about like who's better, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's fun to think about that, like in a fantasy sense, like I guess.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown definitely has, like, as far as the men's main event talent, definitely has way better.
Yes.
John Cena should have come back just to be in the 5v5, if you're asking me, by the way.
I don't know. I feel like it's stacked. Their team's stacked enough.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm surprised Bray Wyatt's in there.
I'm not.
Real quick.
He was like number 4 or 5 pick.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm just not that big into Bray Wyatt as everybody else is.
I mean, a lot of people aren't into him, but he's still high up on the cards.
All right. There's something I want to talk about, what happened on SmackDown, but I realize we're not even on SmackDown yet.
Yeah, well,
but
there's not much
since we
more.
talked about like most of what happened in Survivor Series, we pretty much knocked off some of the stuff that happened in Raw.
There's not that much more to talk about on Raw, but there are a couple things.
Do you know what the best thing hands down that happened on Raw was? Do you know what it was?
Shining Stars.
The fucking Shining Stars.
Finally,
sold
they won
timeshares. Traded timeshares to the Golden Truth for their spot on the 5v5, and that's just fucking amazing. Claps out, just a fucking round of applause for Shining Stars.
If you know someone out there who doesn't watch wrestling, A, now you know why, and B, this is the perfect way to explain it to them.
It's so fucking stupid. 2 guys from Puerto Rico sold timeshares to a guy dressed in fucking terrible, like golden, like he's supposed to look like he's supposed to look like crazy, weird transvestite man, and a rapper.
They sold it to Arch. Yeah, well, they sold to R-Truth. Yeah.
And well, yeah. I mean, I meant both of them, and a rapper, so they could go to Puerto Rico instead of being on the main event of a pay-per-view. Like, what the fuck? It's so stupid. And then R-Truth's like, "What do I want to go to Puerto Rico?"
Oh my god!
This decade, R-Truth was in a main event match with John Cena for a title. I cannot believe that.
I love the Shining Stars, though. I'm glad.
Shining Stars. I'm glad they had a moment, because I actually read that on Twitter. I was on the Joe and Shob Twitter, and I retweeted it, and I read it, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's the best thing that's ever happened." Oh, it was the best thing.
Oh my god! All right. Well, yeah, like we said, Club beat New Day clean. It was really weird, though. Something felt off about it. I don't know why.
Yeah, like it should have been a bigger thing. You know why it should have been bigger? Things feel off when they're late, right? Like when a game gets delayed a ton and it finally does come out, that satisfaction doesn't feel as good because you're like, I should have felt this a long time ago. So when the club, what?
The division.
Yeah. Well, whenever the club beats New Day clean, but it happens way months after it should have, you're like, wow, finally, cool.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I completely forgot the division even existed.
Exactly. Also, No Man's Sky is a good example, too.
I never
Mighty
even cared
Number
about
9.
any of those games. I just don't get hyped about games.
You got hyped about Mighty Number 9.
Me?
Yes.
I was hyped when it originally was announced, correct. You're right about that.
Then it came out like 5 years later.
Yeah, it was 2013 that it was announced, and it came out in 2016. I remember like the Kickstarter was a huge deal, and then
So yes, it's like the same thing as Mighty Number 9, basically.
yeah, but yeah, so that wasn't even a big deal.
Less anime fans on prom night.
Oh, god damn it! Right. So Sasha Banks, Bailey, and Alicia Fox, which I forgot Alicia Fox was on the fucking.
We already talked about this.
We already talked about this?
Yes, we did.
We just talked about Alicia Fox being on the.
No, we talked about Sasha Banks' promo too.
We didn't talk about the match, dude. The match was...
Oh, yeah, but, like, the match was fine.
Okay, well, then we won't talk about the match. Our fans wanted to hear us talk about the match, which, no, they didn't. And,
no,
okay.
I just didn't think the match was all that special.
All right. So last week, we assumed Sami Zayn would be Dolph's opponent. Was that a safe assumption?
Yeah, I think it was. It's the best choice. It's the best choice.
Rusev would have been fun, but they don't really... Do you think Dolph
Second
and Rusev
best.
comment? They've already feuded, too.
Oh, God, don't remind me.
It was a terrible feud. That was back whenever Rusev did nothing and Dolph did nothing. And then they had Rusev do things and Dolph's finally doing things again. But
yeah, I think this will be match of the night, maybe.
Yeah, Sammy versus Dolph Ziggler is gonna be a huge deal. Like, this is the one where I have no idea what could happen, because I have a feeling they're setting up so Sammy finally gets this big moment. A moment that has nothing to do with Kevin Owens. a moment that just for him to get the IC title, and he comes to SmackDown and he just has so much of a push. But Dolph Ziggler only got the title on October 9th, and it's November 11th. It'll be November 20th by the time of the pay-per-view. He'll have only held it for a month and 11 days. And I'll be pissed if he loses that soon, because Miz held it for 6 months.
But what has he done with it so far?
What'd you say?
What has Dolph done with it so far?
He defended it against Miz once already, right?
Yeah, but what is...
And he's about to defend it against Miz next week.
But, like, what else? I'm saying.
He defended it against
Kurt
Hawkins.
We talked about Miz's IC champ every week and how great he was. Now Dolph, it's like, oh, yeah, he's IC champ, okay.
They're gonna let him because look, he's about to have a great match against Sami. He's about to have a great match against Miz.
I don't think he's gonna have. I don't think he should have a long reign.
I think he should. I think at least 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months isn't a long reign.
I know it's not a super long reign. Like no one's gonna get the Miz's 6 months. That was almost a record amount of time. I mean, it was a few months off of me, and like, or I know it wasn't a record, but 6 months is a long time, at least in like the current landscape.
Right.
Because they like to shuffle things. Oh, the women's title, oh my god.
Yes.
And they had a lot of faith in Miz. I want them to have faith in Dolph because Dolph can do things. They just gotta let him. He was doing stuff with the Shining Stars and the Miz because they needed the Miz feud to kind of fizzle out. So it's gonna fizzle out after next week, and then he hopefully retains the Survivor Series, and then they do stuff with it after that. Or Sammy gets it, and that'd be a good, different like wild card that they could throw at us. I'll admit that it'd be interesting.
I mean, even if Dolph loses, he's still losing it in like probably one of the best matches of the night. So I'm not that mad.
Oh, easily, it'd be a fantastic match. Like I'm very excited for that match.
Mm-hmm.
Like of the matches, it's the one where I'm like, wow, this actually has stuff that I'll care about after the pay-per-view ends. It'll have stuff that I'll care about. Because after Goldberg and Brock Lesnar ends, I'm like, okay, this isn't going to affect the show tomorrow. Survivor Series matches, they don't affect the show after the next day. But this match is like, okay, that could actually change things and like throw it, like flip it over on its head. It's like, okay, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so did you care about the main event of Raw at all?
Yeah, I actually thought the main event was really, really good.
It was 18 minutes long.
Yeah, it was a really good main event.
Yeah, it was solid.
Yeah, they never do these anymore, but this shows that they should because, hey, ended on a good note, which means that I was happy.
Yeah,
so,
it was better. It wasn't bullshit. I don't want to go right to the finish, but I'm gonna. Kevin Owens. The finish was great because Kevin Owens pinned Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
That's just genius because they
teased sort of like the dissension between the two, which I like.
Because a few weeks ago, like he was about to call him a stupid idiot, and then it got better after Hell in a Cell again. It was like, where's that resentment? And then it's like, okay, he can kind of be like, you pinned me, you fuck. What were you doing that for? And it was a good match. Like it didn't have to be anything else other than that. I loved throughout the show how they kept trying to get Braun Strowman on their side, and Braun Strowman just shouldn't talk. I'm on Team Braun. He's kind of bad when he talks. Like I'm on Team Braun. He's like, okay. It's kind of cringy.
He sounds a little scary. You
think he sounds scary?
When he was with the Wyatt family and we never heard him talk before, and he was like, "Run," then I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, I think it's better when he doesn't talk full sentences.
He should say like, "Sami Zayn on list? No, put him on list."
By the way, Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman feud are already ended.
Yeah, I guess it's over now.
Basically, I mean, what's they gonna do?
The Battle Royal was the end of it, I guess.
It was a 2-week feud, which usually feuds last a few months. Anyways.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but whatever.
Yeah, they just kind of like, okay, we don't have anything for Sami until Survivor Series.
Yeah, they never actually had a match. So.
They didn't. You're correct. They could have had Sami come on top, but anyways, I like this match. I watched it on a highlight reel, so.
Oh, I watched the whole thing.
I saw the good part. Oh, I also watched like a YouTube version of it where it was kind of cut off. But it was an 18-minute long match, and you got to see they let all their entrances go, and I'm like, they're just doing this. Like, they're actually going to have a main event. And I felt like they tried to make it a little bit more special because they were overseas, and they were in Glasgow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we need to do this special for the international crowd. And they just had a great main event with all the guys in it. Did you like the Shield tease?
I did, yeah. That's pretty cool.
Do you think they're going to do anything with the Shield?
No. Maybe I think there's going to be one spot in the match where like AJ's going to be like down, and then Seth and Roman are going to be in there.
Double powerbomb.
They're going to be doing a double team, and then Dean's going to be like, oh, and they're going to be like, Dean, come on over. And Dean's going to be like, oh.
Oh my God, versus AJ, that's so good.
And then Dean will be like, oh, okay, I'll do it.
Oh my God, that's going to happen. I guarantee you that's going to happen now. I just imagine it all in my head.
Yeah, and then the only thing is like they'll do it on AJ, and then they'll like try to pin him, and Dean will be like, never mind, and he'd throw them all off and beat him.
The only thing is Dean's never the kind of guy to like look dumb for even a second.
Well, it's not like he'd be dumb. It's like he's doing it because he hates AJ, but he's still not going to let AJ get pinned.
Yeah, that's true.
Or they're going to like accidentally do something. I don't know. Like, there's
as far as Dean's character goes, like why would he do that? Because he like is in the match. If there were stipulations, he could just do it because it doesn't matter because he hates AJ. But if there's stipulations, you have a reason for not doing it, but he doesn't.
Yeah. Well, like you remember Battleground, was it 2015 when it was the Fatal 4-Way, and then they did the triple powerbomb to Randy Orton?
Oh yeah,
that was awesome.
People keep saying they think the Shield's gonna do a triple threat or a triple powerbomb in this Survivor Series match and turn on Kevin Owens or somebody. Like I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. Unless I don't know. They think the Shield's gonna come back in time. I'm not thinking for a while.
Shield. Well, I don't think the Shield will ever be back. I think it'll be
teased.
like a one-off.
Yeah, it should never
like
be because these guys all have singles careers and they don't.
Yeah.
Unless like these guys need like a revitalization for a little bit, put them back in a tag team, but like guys like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they would only go back to the tag team like when it had been a few years. Like, all right, let's just throw something different in here. Like they didn't do DX for like they were off for like 7 years, and then they brought it back. Well, they brought it back twice, but between don't count
they still did one-offs. Like they did a one-off with John Morrison and The Miz. They did a lot of those, and they could do that. Same thing with oh God, I forget what I was gonna say. Oh, Evolution. Shield fought them in 2 pay-per-views. They could do the same thing, sort of. So.
That's true. Anyways, because I thought it would have been more fun if they just had it as the tease where they look at each other and go like, oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Okay, so
all right. Well, are we done?
You done with Raw? You done with Raw?
You know what I think it's time to do?
What?
I think it's time to open the can on SmackDown.
I hate you so much. I'm drinking from a straw, but I hate you so much.
Well, let's suck up these results.
Wow, I hope you never talk ever again.
James Ellsworth is named the official mascot for Team SmackDown.
Hey, Joe, never talk to me ever again.
What did you think about this?
You talk to me. I was referencing the joke from whenever I said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, over the weekend I said, Joe, never talk to me ever again, and Joe said.
I literally was just like, hey, and he's like, what? And I'm like, you did it.
He's like, you talked to me. I'm like, fuck, I did. You're right. All right, so let's just go over real quick. We don't have to go bullet for bullet technically, but I just want to talk about the Survivor Series stuff.
There's a really dumb thing that happened on this show, and I really want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I agree, but it might be different dumb things we have to talk about. James Ellsworth as the mascot for SmackDown is neat. Because there wasn't a mascot on Raw, and it's like, okay, James Ellsworth is sticking around. I really thought he was gonna kind of fizzle out and like hopefully be used more as like a special thing that comes back, like whenever they want to use him as like a little quick fire, like whenever they need to pop for fun. But no, he's at least gonna stick around for like another 2 weeks probably.
Yeah, I'm still not sick of him yet, though. I still don't think he's overexposed, but he's not in the main event. The main event isn't focused around him anymore, which is nice.
Hey, he was in the main event this week.
Yeah, but he wasn't like the focus.
I can't believe this man got a WWE title match.
Yeah, like he's not getting title matches every week.
it's still great. It was a lot of fun. His run's gonna, I'm gonna look back and be like, I can't believe that happened. Like they wouldn't do that on Raw. They wouldn't. They just wouldn't. But
yeah, but
he's
him being
named
the mascot,
it just
I think it's
guarantees
cool.
he's gonna do something to help Dean out in the 5v5 or screw something up, and it'll be shenanigans. And people are just gonna be happy to have him there. Like, why not have him there? Like, he's been on
Okay.
SmackDown for the past month and a half almost. Like, why not have him there for the 5v5?
All right, to any naysayers, I want you to imagine something, okay? I want you to imagine James Ellsworth interacting with Jericho, and then tell me you're not excited.
I'm not excited.
You made that up. You are excited.
No,
There's no way you
no.
can't be excited for that.
I take.
There's no way.
I'm a mark. I'm gonna take wrestling really seriously. You can't have jokes. It's no jokes. We're 20 now.
That's
There's
what
no more
smarks
jokes.
do.
No more
Yeah,
jokes.
how could you not be excited for this?
I am excited for it. What are you kidding me, dude? I'm kidding.
Jericho and James Ellsworth interacting. That's gonna be gold.
Yeah, Jericho can just be like, "Go Ellsworth. We don't have a mascot. Take yourself seriously."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ellsworth, you stupid idiot.
Hopefully they get. Hopefully James has like a big spot like that night. Like, I don't mean a wrestling spot. Like, he does something. Because so far
I like
in
the
this
way
run,
he
his
announced
biggest
it, too. He's
spot
like-
was whenever he came out and got pulled out by security whenever he helped Dean win that match. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I love. Well, I don't know. I just love the way he talks. Like James Ellsworth is gonna be. He's like the official mascot for Team SmackDown.
Oh, it's so cute. Shut up. I know. I said it was cute, but it was. And I like when he comes out with this because he has a theme now. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Not Sheamus Cesaro cute, but he's up there.
Oh, it's not Sheamus Cesaro, of course not. And he just comes out of the ramp and he has his hands out like, "Yeah, we got this. Two men with two hands."
By the way, our friend PJ, he wore James Ellsworth's shirt to the Comic-Con we went to. A lot of people really, really liked his shirt, so I think that's
People are really into James Ellsworth. Like, no one was like, "Man, he's really annoying."
Yeah.
Like they're just on the ride with us, really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still qualifying matches for the 10 on 10.
Yeah. What do you think about Breezango's new like police gimmick?
It was a gimmick. I just thought they were wearing that because they were in Glasgow.
No, like the past
Because
couple
New
weeks.
Day
Remember
wore
whenever-
Highlander stuff.
Remember when I told you to watch SmackDown Fallout when Tyler Breeze is like, Fandango's gone missing. I have to investigate.
Oh yeah, well
And then a week later, he found Fandango, and Fandango's like, "Oh, I was just telling that out over here. I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "Oh, I didn't know where you were." I just love the way they talk. They're perfect when they talk. Like they're.
I'm happy they're in this match because they're at least gonna do something. And hey, they won a match. At least that's more than the vaudevillains can say.
I definitely think they should be used more because I think they're an underrated tag team.
I feel like they can wrestle, so hey, why not?
Tyler Breeze could really wrestle. You need to watch Tyler Breeze match.
I'm gonna. I promise. I'm gonna do it tonight. I promise.
Literally go to NXT Takeover. He's had so many. He like match after match after match to NXT Takeover. He's the MVP.
MVP. Wow. Did he ever have a title?
No, but he was at the top of the card. Like, excuse me. Oh my god. He was in a couple number one contender matches. He beat Sami Zayn one time. Fatal 4-way match. He fought Jushin Thunder Liger. Excuse me again. Oh my god.
Jesus
I'm
Christ,
so
man!
embarrassed.
We're not even professional anymore. You suck.
Hey, you know what? I paid money for this mic. I can do whatever I want to do it.
Oh, okay.
I
Really,
also
you
didn't
can.
burp into the mic. I burped away from the mic, so that's pretty professional. Anyway.
Professional, of course.
Honest, Fandango holds him down. So
Fandango.
Fandango. whatever.
Isn't it Fandango?
I don't know.
Fandango. I don't know.
Vaudevillains, they worked in NXT, but I don't think they work here. So unfortunately,
Yeah,
for
I
them-
don't know. They're almost too much of a joke. Like, they're funny, but like they're never gonna do anything because they're the vaudevillains. I mean, seriously.
Mhm. Put them in like a stable or something. I don't know.
How about just use them as jobber talent and that'll be it forever.
Okay.
I mean, like, seriously, what are they gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, this is gonna be mean. It's gonna be really mean. If any of you like the vaudevillains out there, you might take offense to this.
Toby likes the vaudevillains.
The Ascension are better.
Oh,
Well, I'm not saying better as in match quality or character.
I think
I'm
I'd
saying-
rather watch the Ascension only because that one guy is so bright. He's hard to look at.
And they talk about the wasteland all the time. It's great.
I wish that wasn't my only reason.
Yeah. Oh well.
I really wish it was my only reason.
SmackDown tag teams are weird. Anyway, Naomi and Natalya had a match. Some shenanigans happened.
Dude,
and yeah.
this match really confused me because it didn't fucking matter at all. I
Yeah.
mean, Naomi got over. She's fun as a face. I like Naomi a lot, but Natalya's
yeah.
I just didn't really get it because Natalya's the coach for the team, so why was she getting put against somebody who's on the fucking team?
Dude, she was blowing that whistle so good, though.
Oh, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Are you making fun of Tyson Kidd?
What?
Are you making fun of Tyson Kidd?
No, what?
What are you... Oh, it's so mean.
What?
You fucking rude. It's so rude.
What did I do?
Saying Natalya's blowing that whistle so good. You asshole.
Kid can't, like, move his head. I would never make fun of him.
Didn't I make fun of him once?
You did, and I was like, dude, he can't move his head. And you're like, oh.
Is he going to be able to move his head?
We don't know. He almost died, so.
Oh, what happened?
You didn't know this?
I knew about it, but I just don't know how it happened.
Yeah, he got hit with a muscle buster by Samoa Joe, but it, like, something happened. A lot of people say it wasn't Samoa Joe's fault. It was like wear and tear most likely, and he broke his neck, and there was like a very small chance of survival, and he actually survived.
Jesus Christ!
It's like one of the worst neck injuries they've had in a very long time.
Is he? So he's never gonna wrestle ever again?
Probably not.
Oh, poor guy. That's his dream.
Yeah.
It's his life.
Yeah, he's underrated. He was underrated his whole career. So.
Yeah, he ever since NXT takeovers have started, he was main eventing like the first few.
He's been in WWE for a really long time.
Yeah, and he's married to Natalya, and you made fun of Natalya's whistle.
Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, he was WrestleMania 26. He beat up Vince McMahon. That was back when he had a no hair.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
And I can't believe you've burped.
He had 3 strands of hair sticking up.
Oh, that's
in
great.
front. That was it. That was his thing. He's in SmackDown vs. Raw 2011.
By the way, still another question. Why did the coach of this team wrestle somebody on the team? I just don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that.
That's
I don't really get that.
Like, they didn't say, like, oh, we're going to do this to make you practice. They just started the match, and it's like, why? I don't get it.
It literally makes no sense at all.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Like, they could have just done Nikki versus Carmella. Like, why not? It's better than doing Naomi versus Natalya. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It got Naomi over because she had a victory. I like Naomi. She's awesome. But, whatever. So this is something I really want to talk about. Is Baron Corbin versus Kalisto.
This is the stupid thing I was talking about earlier.
Yes, it is very dumb. What do you think's dumb about it?
Everything. The fact that this match started, like, you know, Baron Corbin, like, walked out and was like, I'm not going to do the match tonight. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, I'm going to fight Kalisto instead. And then they fought. And then he beat up Kalisto. And then he tripped. He made himself look like an idiot.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it just happened.
Oh, it definitely wasn't work because Kalisto hit it and beat it up.
Yeah.
And then he came back and beat up Baron Corbin more. And
yeah,
I'm like,
at first Baron Corbin was doing really well in the match, too.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? And then at the end, because we might as well just talk about the whole arc they had.
Yes.
They're like, he's been injured and he won't be able to compete at Survivor Series. And then the next night, he works at a live show.
Yeah, because maybe I can't tell if, like, it was obviously a kayfabe injury, but I couldn't tell if it was like a kayfabe injury that was like caused by an injury that actually happened. They were like, okay, let's put him out of the 5v5. Because I want to know why they actually took him out of the 5v5.
Yeah,
like
I don't really know why.
Maybe if it was just because they wanted to put Shane in there for there to be a bigger name in there instead of Baron Corbin?
They should have just had been like, oh, we need a fifth person. Baron, can you do it? And Baron's like, I'm a lone wolf. I don't want to do it. Nope. And they'd be like, frick, we're all out of people. And then Shane would be like, and then Daniel would be like, well, there's one name left. And then he'd be like, it's Shane McMahon. And Shane would be like, okay.
I'm mad that Baron Corbin's out of the 5v5. I'm not mad that Shane's in it. I'm mad that Baron Corbin's out of it. Because out of anybody in the 5v5, he was the one guy where it's like, okay, there is some, there's some potential that we haven't seen there. And, like, let's give him a moment in there to, like, show that he can do something.
Fucking Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman is what people wanted.
Are you mad?
I mean, yeah. I think this is just a waste. It was such an overcomplicated way to put Shane in because, like I said, Baron worked a live show last night. So he's clearly not injured and he's not suspended.
It was like they were like, no, maybe let's not put Baron Corbin in there. Like he's not like one of the top 5 guys on SmackDown, which I'll agree. He's probably not one of the top 5 guys on SmackDown, but he was like he was the wild card of the 10 people in the match. Because you're like, we all know what these guys can do in a match like this. Let's see what happens to him because you got to have someone like that.
Like I said, I could rewrite this whole arc so much better. Baron Corbin, they go up to him. He's a lone wolf. He says no. They go up to the Miz. They're like, you know what, Miz, we've tried everybody. No one wants to join. None of the top guys want to join. Miz, we have to go to you. Do you want to join? Miz is like, oh, you want me now? Oh, no, you're not getting.
Yeah, because seriously, Miz should have been the one in the 5v5 anyways.
Yeah, but even then, if they wanted to put Shane in there, Miz could be like, you know what? I asked, I wanted to be in there last week, but now you're here and you're saying no, so I refuse to be in that match. Fuck you, Daniel. And then they're like, you know what? We only have one name left, and he's at the top of the paper. It's Becky Lynch.
By the way, they definitely had more than one guy left. Shane was not the last talent that was left. They could have called John Cena, but they were like, okay.
No, well, you mean in my story?
I'm talking about in general. Like, Shane was not the last guy left. He's not a wrestler.
But, like I said, if they show, like in my story, if they showed that they went to The Miz, they went to Baron Corbin, that they said no, they couldn't fill up the last spot, then it would make more sense.
I agree.
As far as Shane goes, I love watching Shane McMahon do his thing. So
I love Shane McMahon. The only problem I have with this is this late into his career, he's not a wrestler, and I prefer in the wrestling matches, only if it was taking Baron out, not for a kayfabe injury, because I think that's stupid. Like you should just had Baron stay in the match. If there was actually a reason why they took him out and they put Shane in, that's fine. But otherwise, I'd rather real wrestlers be in there, because even back in the day, Shane's not a real wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Well,
he's not a wrestler.
He's just there.
He's really fucking good at bumps.
Yeah, he's going to be in there for a big spot. So,
and obviously he gets a big, ovation, and because the crowd loves him, I love him. He's like his "Here Comes the Money" starts, and you're like, oh yeah, money talks, man. And he does his fucking left to right with his dance, and you're like, yeah, this is awesome. Because I don't know, I love it. It's great. He's awesome. Like he gets a big pop in the audience. But
best thing.
Did he need to be in the match though? Like, did he have to be in the match? The answer is no.
Best thing I saw though, this is an election meme, but it was like the gif of like Daniel Bryan announcing that Shane was gonna be in the team, and like Shane's like no, and he's like doing the, like shaking his hand. He's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. No. like he's like blank. He looks like a little scared, and he's like no. And then somebody was like, and the winner of the 2016 election is, and he's like no.
What was the meme you showed me earlier today?
Oh my god. I'm making a video.
You should put this in the podcast.
I am making a video on WWE memes sometime in the near future.
Oh, we should definitely just have a bonus episode about that. We should have more bonus episodes.
Yes, we should. But
wait. Oh,
it was
guy.
No, let me explain it. I'm the one who found it. Let me explain it.
Okay.
So it's a guy. It's this guy. He's in the car and he's like, hey babe. Hey babe. Is it cool if we watch something other than WWE tonight? And then the next picture is him getting thrown out of the car while it's driving.
It's the girl, yeah. She gets thrown out of the car while it's driving, and
No, but the guy said it. The guy said it. It was a guy who said it because he's like, "Hey, babe, could we not watch WWE tonight?"
Oh no, it's hey babe, can we watch something other than WWE tonight?
Yeah.
And she gets pushed out of the car.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I fucking hate these memes so much, but they're really addictingly cringy. So
I saved all of these over the past couple months. Speaking of which, bonus plug: go to www.com right now. Go to photo gallery. There's like a blooper reel sort of photos. Look through all of them. They're all great.
Oh, they're beautiful. It is a beautiful thing. So back to actual wrestling, which is what Dean Ambrose used to do. I'm sorry. Only Joe and I get that joke. I apologize. There really is not much more that happened on SmackDown other than the main event, which happened halfway through the show. The self-proclaimed main event of SmackDown was Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss for the title. But WWE really needs to redefine what the main event is, because it should be what goes on last. But as we've seen in the past month, apparently it can go on in the middle of the card with like this, the very first match or the last match. It just doesn't matter. It's whatever they call the main event is the main event.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm happy that this was the main event because it's like, oh wow, women. It's not even going to be a big deal anymore. Like when women main event, because it's like we'll expect it, and that's a good thing. Like we're just used to it, which we should be. It's like okay, they get the main events when they're deserving of them. Like I watched the WWE 24 on the Women's Revolution, Women's Evolution was what it was called actually, and I'm like, yeah, women's wrestling is going to be so good once it's like running full steam, which is going to start to like very soon. And it even started had with Hell in a Cell. It's in such a better place, and it's going to only get better once like these divas are women are more established.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking forward to when it'll be more of like something where that's not even a big deal, and that's kind of what it wasn't here. Like it shouldn't be a big deal. It should be like okay, women can have the main event. Like doesn't have to be a big deal anymore.
Yeah, I think back to the actual like women though. I think Alexa Bliss is quickly like finding her place, and she's doing great. I think like
Alexa Bliss out of the ones on the SmackDown, like I didn't know much about her before the brand split. Now I know
she didn't
her
really
really
do
well.
much before she came to the main roster.
Yeah, she definitely did well for herself and making people know who she was.
Yeah, like in this match, like she hit a DDT and she's like
Count to three. Count to three.
and she's like screaming at the ref. It's great. One thing I didn't like about the match is the finish. It didn't really make much sense to me. Basically, Becky's got the disarmer in.
Disarm her.
And yeah, disarm her. And Alexa's got her foot on the rope, but then she taps out. But what I don't understand is if her foot's on the rope, why didn't she like get the ref's attention?
I don't know. It's wrestling.
She could have.
It's like nothing that we can describe.
She could have like kicked the rope so that the ref would be like, "Oh, the rope's shaking. Oh, her foot's on the rope. Gotta let go."
Yeah, I don't get it. Wrestling's fucking weird, dude. It makes no sense, and they'll have bullshit finishes all the time.
Hey,
like
it's
Becky.
it's still better than the Jack Swagger Baron Corbin finish from all those weeks ago. You remember
Oh
that
my
one?
god, that was terrible. Oh my god. Hey, it's wrestling, but they wanted to keep the feud still going, so they had a not clean finish. Right. Otherwise, Becky Lynch should have this title for a long time. Like, I don't think anybody should win it from her.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was actually her first fucking title defense, and she's had it for over like 2 months now. 2 months to today, it's been 2 months.
Yeah. Well, it's still a good match though, and I'm happy she won.
It took her almost 2 full months to finally have a title defense. That's kind of ridiculous.
Well, she was out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, but it's still kind of crazy. Anyways, we already talked about the Cruiserweights match. Kurt Hawkins beat Apollo Crews, who I forgot existed. Apollo Crews could have been a guy who was on the 5v5.
You know who I'm gonna make in my my WWE universe in 2K17? You know what tag team I'm gonna make?
Terry Creed and Apollo Crews.
No, Apollo Crews and Neville.
The guys who can flip around and are really strong.
But always lose to people that they really shouldn't lose to.
Oh my god, they should have a tag team.
Yeah, Apollo Neville.
Apollo and
Neville Apollo. Neville Apollo.
Appville. Nolo. Upnolo. I don't know, dude. Once Apollo Crews gets a gimmick and gets a character, it'll be great because he can wrestle. Obviously, they have him as a jobber. That's fine too. I mean, he got an IC title match, which obviously means they don't plan on him just being a jobber. But if he can do something, like he can become something bigger, they just gotta do something with him.
Dun, 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 dun,
Hey, Kurt Hawkins got his first win though, and he looked pretty good. Like Kurt Hawkins is somebody I could see like liking in the future.
Yeah,
Like a decent amount. Like it's nice that there's new talent. Like, is at least week to week we can be like, what are they doing with this new talent?
Yeah.
First week it was nothing, and this week it's something a little bit more.
But when you realize that Shelton Benjamin was supposed to be debuting,
Oh man, Shelton Benjamin would be great on SmackDown right now.
Yeah.
How old is he though? Like, how much can he do?
I don't know, but look at Rhino. So.
Yeah, but Shelton Benjamin is more the high flying guy, and he's 41 years old.
Yeah, but he can still go. So.
Jeez. Yeah, Shelton Benjamin's 41. I mean, definitely won't be able to do the airborne stuff as much, but he'll be able to do something.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, main event, 6-man tag. I thought this was a really good match too. I thought, again, I guess James Ellsworth was like a main focus of this. So I guess
he's been main focus for a while. The only thing that I really have to say about this match, well, there's two things. Kane was thrown in because Dean was like, "Wow, it's like 1.5 guys versus 3," which was true. And yet again, there's fucking Kane. Has nothing to do with anything, and they just find him.
Well, now Kane has something to do with it.
A little bit, only because the Wyatt family were in the match. But it's like Dean and James are backstage, and like, oh, it's Kane. He must be in something. Like, you have to do something with him. Like, Kane doesn't matter at all.
Uh-huh.
Like, you can't tell me that Kane matters.
Kane doesn't matter.
Kane doesn't matter. Is he going to get a fucking pay-per-view match?
I don't really mind Kane anymore, though. It's not like he's in a big position.
Oh, I know. But I feel like he doesn't even need to be there.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, I don't dislike him, but it's kind of like the Big Show thing where it's like overstayed welcome. Like,
yeah, but the Big Show, like I said last week, I think it was What Culture interviewed him, and he was like so sad the whole interview. He's like, "Yeah, people hate me. It's whatever."
oh yeah, I watched that whole thing. I think Big Show's really desensitized to it. Kane doesn't get as much hate, but Kane's last big thing that he did that actually mattered, and it's gonna be sad because it really didn't matter, was Corporate Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he actually had a role in the Authority at least.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like, what else is he gonna do as the Demon? Like, not much.
Right.
Especially because he doesn't even look that good at all. Oh god,
Mm-hmm.
he looks in his current ring attire. It makes him look fat.
He's had that for a while, so.
I mean, and if he wasn't the Demon, he'd look even more fat. So.
Mm-hmm.
But
what did you think about the finish?
I liked it because I was getting ready. I was like, oh my god, James Ellsworth actually going to do the no chin music? Do it. And he didn't do it. And he instantly got Sister Abigail and got destroyed. And I was like, oh, that made Bray look good. And so I liked it. It was fine. But the only thing I thought was weird is they're like officially saying Randy's in the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Like, they just said they didn't say the Wyatt family plus Randy Orton. It was just the Wyatt family.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not having Randy dress differently or act different. Like,
They
he's acting
he definitely needs to move up a level. Like, Bray needs to feud with I don't know. He definitely needs to feud with somebody bigger now because he's got Randy Orton on his side. So he's like, oh shoot, I have Randy Orton on my side. That means I can do anything, Like, he's a 12-time champ. I can do whatever I want.
It's at least intriguing. Like, it's definitely like, let's see what they do with Randy Orton and the Wyatt family. Like, it could be unpredictable. It could be predictable. I'm curious to find out.
I think if Sammy ends up winning the IC title, I think Bray and Dolph could happen. Other than that, maybe Dean and Bray could happen eventually.
Yeah, but they already feuded like the year and it's 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
Never
but
mind.
it sucked. It sucked. So
They could have a good feud now, I think, at least.
well, the feud didn't suck.
But
It was
they
the
can't have
TLC
that feud
match.
start for another month because TLC.
Yeah, well, they would do a Kane Bray Wyatt.
Dean and AJ by the end of this will have feuded for like 3 or 4 months.
Mm-hmm. But it's been stretched out a lot because of John Cena and Survivor Series, stuff like that.
It's a good feud. Like I can look back and be like, there were a lot of good moments in this feud.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Because like when you look at it week to week, it's like okay, it's like it's not crazy, but then when you look at the actual moments, you're like, oh, those are good moments. Like you could put a compilation together, like a package together. You're like, okay, there was build to this. I liked it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right. So that was wrestling this week.
That was wrestling this week. Not as much wrestling as last week because we didn't have to go over a pay per view.
Right.
I think
but
definitely.
I had a good watch this week. There was a lot of good stuff. So.
I agree. I definitely want to not extremely change the layout of this show, but only a little bit.
Like how so?
Like we do our own bullet points for the week instead of just using this.
Mm-hmm.
And we, before the show starts, like you and I, like real quick go over what we really would like to talk about and put in more cohesive. Because sometimes it's like, oh, we want to talk about something. We're on Raw, but we wanted to talk about something that happened on SmackDown that might like go into our conversation about what's happening on Raw. And it's like, okay, well, we have to wait. But no, I kind of want to talk about it now.
I could roll with that. Yeah.
I think we could. Think you and I could definitely do some out of show discussion about that.
Yes.
Because we're still early, but we got to do whatever we can to make this most fun for us and for other people, and most edible. We need to make it more consumable for our audience.
Yes, I agree.
Which means put it in clips and put it on Reddit so people. I'm kidding. Hey, what's up, guys? You didn't hear that? So, you liked wrestling this week?
Yeah, it was a good week.
Solid week.
Solid week.
They're doing a decent job of setting up for some like Survivor Series. There's a few things that they could do to make it better, but there are definitely some good things. Like
I'm definitely gonna have fun watching it. I think.
I'm really looking forward to it more than I look forward to Hell in a Cell, No Way Out. Honestly, the most I've been looking forward to a pay per view since SummerSlam. SummerSlam I was really looking forward to, like very much.
SummerSlam was a stacked card. So.
It was SummerSlam.
All right. Well,
on that note, I think it was a good week.
Yeah.
Any feedback you guys want to tell us? Please do. Love you guys. This is we're going on the 8th episode here, and we're gonna go by dates now. So this was gonna be the episode on 11/11. So we're just gonna start doing it that way now from now on instead of doing episodes. But we're gonna keep doing this. I can guarantee you, on 11/12 next year, I'm gonna be like Joe and Shob show. I can't guarantee you that, but as long as you guys keep watching, as long as you guys keep listening. As long as Joe and I keep watching wrestling and enjoy this, we're going to be here. So thanks for listening this week. And we hope you listen next week. And if you have any recommendations, tell us.
See ya.
And you guys have a good week. I mean that. Enjoy the remainder of your lives.
Yes, sir.
Shut the fuck up.
Right, I'm back.
I was not singing that entire time.